All right, so now let's talk about your lead. And there's a couple of factors that go into it. One is based on yourself, and then the other one is based on your opponent. So today it's a big enough topic. We're just going to delve into yourself. And so Bruce Lee was a big fan of putting the strong side forward, which is very counter to most martial arts, which teach to put the strong side back. And Bruce Lee's reasoning, again, a lot of Jeet Kune Do was actually very fencing influenced. And so in fencing, you would have your strong side forward because that's the hand that you're holding the foil with. And so Bruce Lee's thought was use your lead hand like a fencer uses a foil. Okay, so put your strong side forward and learn how to tear that person apart with the lead hand, because it's going to be closer to the target. You're already moving it halfway closer, so it's going to be faster. And when you fire lead hand tools, you don't open yourself up as much. A lot of times when people first start sparring, they have a tendency to emphasize the lead hand just because it's kind of scary opening yourself up with that rear hand. You're just going to feel more open. And so under the stress and adrenaline of a fight, if your strongest tool is in the front and you feel more protected that way, you can fire that thing out a lot more while still keeping yourself better protected. So Bruce Lee's main emphasis of strong side forward had to do with put the strong side forward so that it's closer to the target so you can fire it a lot faster, and because it offers better defensive coverage. So those are kind of the two main things. And the idea is also, if you think of your strong side as kind of your cannon that you're hitting with, Bruce Lee's idea was put that cannon in front, and then now your weak side becomes another cannon, but they're not, you're not going to hit as hard with your strong side forward as if you put that strong side back. But now your weak side is stronger. So you've kind of divided your power up into two weapons. Now, because we do kicking, elbows, knees, street fighting encompasses it all, you've actually divided that into, what you could call 8 weapons, elbows, knees, legs. So you've just divided the power over all of your weapons. Also, Jeet Kune Do is the way of the intercepting fist. It's a lot easier to intercept somebody's attack with your front side than it is with your back side. So it also gives you kind of a tactical advantage there. Now, so when I grew up, we did strong side forward. But, a lot of different Jeet Kune Do guys and have kind of emphasized putting some of the strengths of putting your strong side back. And obviously that is that now you've got one really big cannon in the back, or the back side of your body now has a lot of power. So if your goal is to knock someone out with one shot, if you put your strong side back, so now you've got the torque to put into a shot, now you've got knockout power in one hand instead of dividing that power between both sides of your body. So there's good reasoning for putting the strong side back. Also, as an instructor, I've noticed that if I ask somebody who's never trained to just put one foot in front of the other to get into their stance, naturally most people will put their weak side forward and their strong side back. So as an instructor, if you're trying to help somebody learn a martial art, there's already enough obstacles to learning. There's a lot of techniques to learn, a lot of principles, that adding one more in the form of which side you put forward seems like maybe not worth it. Maybe it's better to let them learn martial arts from the side that's most comfortable to them than have them change sides and learn it on the other side. And ultimately, I think the pinnacle is to get to where you can switch sides seamlessly in your combinations. But so strong side back has a lot of good, advantages. It's very natural. Also, you've got more power on the back side. It's also what's generally taught in a lot of martial arts. So it's what you're going to deal with a lot more. And so even from the perspective of, if you are traditional Jeet Kune Do, Bruce Lee, strong side forward, of that mindset, one of the issues that I found growing up and training in, where everybody fought strong side forward, is that all the people you trained against were strong side forward. So you didn't get a lot of experience against people that put their strong side back. And so if most people learn to put their strong side back, you've got to go through that, and you've got to learn what changes in a fight when you have that variable. So as an instructor, I like to let students choose their lead that feels most comfortable to them. And if they like Bruce Lee's idea of strong side forward, good, run with it. If you like the idea of strong side back, like a lot of different martial arts teach, run with that one. And then that way you get the experience of both in your training. The next video, I want to talk about how your stance is influenced by your opponent and what the advantages are when your stance matches or mirrors your opponent's stance. So if your partner is left lead and you're left lead, what are the advantages there versus when your partner is either left lead or right lead and you're in the opposite lead? What advantages are there? So if you have the ability to switch leads, that can also influence it. Cool.